I don't know if you could tell, but I'm standing at the window of my new hotel room. And basically, it's out to a wall. So even though there's a window, I don't have to worry about opening or closing the blinds because I have privacy regardless. There's a wall on the other side. Probably after an alley, so about, 2 meters. And I'm pretty sure there's nothing in the wall. It's just a wall of a store. So nobody's going to be looking in. Privacy. Two ways. So one way is having a room like this with a window that faces out towards a wall. But another way at the Prior Hotel is having a large floor to ceiling window spanning a wall and another wall and all of that. How is that private, you would say? Well, if you're in the center of the city, amongst all the high rises, and you're on the 30th story looking out over a major intersection. All around are office buildings. You're the only building that's not an office building because it happens to be a grand hotel. And if you're at the corner and none of the other rooms in the hotel can see you, then I would say you have privacy. Because who can see in? You're so far away that you're just a speck in the distance for anybody down on the street. All the other buildings around, there's nobody to see you. I mean, there may be office buildings, but they're also really far away. Privacy. We think it means you have to have your windows closed. But you have your windows wide open and still have privacy. Isn't that amazing? I mean, you think about this idea of privacy. People who are famous lust for privacy. They look back fondly on days when they're not famous and they can walk around and have nobody recognize them. Well, they still can. They say you're a famous star in the US. Let's say you go to a place like Siberia. But I guess you're going to go around very well, as in nobody will know who you are. Nobody's going to approach you for an autograph. Nobody's going to come up and want to take pictures with you, unless you look different, then they will. As in, when I went to Eastern Europe, people would come up and want to take pictures with me. Not because I'm a celebrity, just because I'm Asian and they don't see many of those Asians. But there's so many ways about achieving privacy that not nobody, but often is not thought of. How could you be private in blatant view of everybody, right? I remember the story of a man who was carrying a bunch of money on a train. There's this version of it in India, there's a version of it my mom was saying in Taiwan, but basically there's a pile of luggage and he just throws his bag on the pile of luggage. Nary a second glance. And I'm carrying $1 million. And in India, same thing, right? And he just takes it when he leaves the train, and it was fine. Nobody touched it. It's in plain view. There's a bag holding $1 million. But nobody knew about it because it was hidden amongst the rest of the bags. Like it's just a normal bag. Privacy. Nobody wrote on the outside it had $1 million, but inside it did. But it was private information, not disclosed by the owner, and thus unknown by anybody else. I mean, if the owner were clutching it to his chest, looking all around, very worried looking, even though it wasn't written on the bag, people would suspect there's something in that bag. There's so many ways of privacy, but that is so true of everything else in our world. There's a saying, there's more than one way of skinning a cat. But I would say there's more than one way of doing most things. Just have to open your mind. Hopefully travel. You'll see so many different ways of doing things that are all okay. Some may be even better than the way they do it at home.